From the great halls of their house, there are assembled three who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe comes our team captain, the Vision, Bill Fisher, and their soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicki Fisher, and our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Scripchuk. Their mission: to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team.
Welcome to the Garage Heroes in Training podcast. I'm going to be the host for the episode. My name is Bill, and I haven't done this in a long time, and I ran out of breath. Anyway, who else is hosting?
I'm Vicki.
We're back.
We are.
That's right. We left. We came back. It's been a while, but it's okay. So, how did this episode come about? Well, one of our listeners said, "Hey, we have questions. You should ask these things." And I said, "That's a great idea. When are you coming on?" And they said, "What?" So fooled another one. Haha, boomerang. From the Ironbird Racing team, driving the number 103 Mr. 2, who had their first ever race, I believe, at Summit Point. We were, I believe we were across the street. I don't know if the street is street in quote in a paddock, but whatever. We have Robin and Greg, the team captain. Greg, you got team captain responsibilities. You utter fool.
Yeah, I got anointed team captain in Robin's email to you where he created that title.
Well, that's fine. Team captain is usually delegated by who wants to be team captain, and the other three people take a step backwards, and you're like, oh, okay, I guess it's me. So let's start with team captain designee. Greg, what got you into racing?
Man, we've been sort of a wannabe race family for a very long time. My eldest son is a mechanic. We've raced everything from go-karts to Baja cars to each other, maybe not so legally.
I mean, these things happen in Mexico.
It's always trying to be who's the fastest in the family. So we've got a new caveat to that. Maybe we could talk about later about who's the fastest in the family without breaking the car.
Yeah, there's
see that's key.
Yeah. Well, the fastest in the family usually ends up with the biggest bill. So that's just how it works. Robin, how about you? How'd you get into this craziness that we call lemons?
The seeds were planted early. My dad raced motorcycles for a long time, and I grew up racing motorcycles. I learned to ride a motorcycle when I was 9, and I was racing motocross by the time I was 11 or 12. And my dad, when he broke too many things on motorcycles, he moved on to sprint cars. So, and he raced sprint cars for years and years and years and years. Um, to the point where, he was known as one of the grand old fellows of Iowa sprint car racing. And he was on his way to a race back in 2018 when he passed away. He kind of raced from 19 to the entirety of his life.
Wow.
Yeah. And after doing motorcycles for a while, I kind of got out of it for a bit. I ran into Greg because his one of his kids and my oldest kid were in school together, and we happened to be talking about something at some sporting event, and I think he was talking about racing in Baja or something like that. It's like, all right, this is kind of cool. So yeah, we kind of fell in together, and things actually happened that we raced last year for the first time in Lemons. It was great.
Was it everything you hoped for?
It was more than I hoped for, as far as the community has been so awesome. My family is really, really tired of me talking about how cool Lemons is. And, the rest of my friends are really tired of me talking about how cool Lemons is too. but yeah, it's just a wonderfully accepting community. You get to hang out with people that you wouldn't necessarily hang out with, and you have all this kind of common bond where
Mm-hmm.
everybody's willing to help everybody out. Everybody's rooting for everybody else. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah. That is, it's, I attribute it to, and I say this quite a bit. Lemons racing is like playing football on Sunday. You're all out there. Nothing is overly serious, but there is still some competition in there, and it's all about having a great time, and nobody wants to see you not playing. So they're going to help you get back on the track. If your car literally breaks, you'll probably have people stopping by and trying to help you get your car back on the road.
Yep, absolutely.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, that's usually necessary, but that's a different part of the story.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's true. So do you guys did you guys have any goals with your going out there?
Our our number one goal was to pass tech. Once we passed tech, everything else was gravy. We were so
Yeah.
stressed about the what is it, the broom handle test,
oh yeah, the
and we
broomstick.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, broomstick test. So we have one of our teammates is how tall is Nick? 6'5", and
Something like that.
we're
Yeah.
racing an '89 MR2. So
Hmm.
I mean, we just obsessed. We beat out the floor of the, removed the seat, beat out the floor completely, removed it, and we were up till what, midnight, 1 a.m. trying to fix it, make sure it was right. Finally seating it, getting new welds in, added to the roll cage, modified it, made sure it was safe, passing tech. And then we
So
get there, and and maybe I shouldn't say this because I don't want to alert any of the judges and make it more difficult. But then we
like
get
anybody
there,
who listens, don't
yeah.
worry.
But our neighbors, they had what were they racing, Robin? An Audi, and
Hmm.
they were taller than Nick. 6'5", big guys. And we're like, how do you guys pass tech? Well, we just send one of our short drivers.
oh geez.
I know
I'm like,
nothing.
man,
La 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 la.
Oh geez.
I
So
won't
Bill,
name names. I
why
won't
don't
name
you
names. Yeah.
why don't you explain what the uh
Broomstick.
the broomstick test is? Go ahead.
So broomstick test is that the top of your helmet, seated in the seat, the top of your helmet has to be below the roll cage.
Mm-hmm.
So they slide a broomstick across, allegedly, underneath the roll cage, and if your helmet slides with some space, you've passed.
Yep.
So
And if you don't, it's a long weekend.
it's a long weekend watching other people drive the car.
Nah, we'll fix it. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be amazed how many cages have been torn apart and put back together. So with an MR2, it is harder though. So, speaking as a person who had a 91 MR2, I know that's not
Next
so
gen.
big. I thought you guys were same gen. Are you first gen?
We're first gen. Yeah, there's
Oh,
the
I'm second gen. Okay. Okay. I thought it changed in 89. Must have been later. It's okay. That's even worse though. I mean, space wise.
yeah, it's tight.
Hmm.
It's
Like,
very tight.
okay.
So the height range was, I think, 6'5" to, gosh, Colton is 5'9", 5'8" and a
That's
half.
a lot.
Yeah, I'm 5'7".
Yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so 5'7" to 6'5".
Please
So
please say you had sliders on there.
we definitely had sliders.
Okay.
We had booster seat,
Okay.
foam seat
Okay.
underneath. So yeah,
Yeah. All the toys. Yeah.
all the toys made it work.
Yeah. So having had one of these cars, well, a relative of one, it's next generation, the son or daughter, whatever. Uh, the I have a question for you. Why?
Why? How did you come across choosing your car?
I'm not how. I'm why. I'm like, what were you thinking?
What I was thinking was that somebody else had raced this car, and then it came with a set.
Oh,
So there's my background that you're seeing right now is the blue car, which is generously named because, as you see from the picture that your listeners can't
mm-hmm.
see, it's black and blue and yellow and various
Yeah.
parts and missing a front fender, etc. So um,
Not a lot of
but it
blue
came
there,
as a
sir.
set,
I'm
so
bad with
it's
color, but
predominantly blue. But yeah, it came as a set, had the roll cages in it, allegedly had the fire suppression, which I think 36 hours prior to the race we found out wasn't going to pass. And then figured out how easy it was to install. But yeah, since it came as a set, had been racing in lemons out in Arizona for a while. I thought, oh, and not knowing about the broomstick test because we were just super,
yep.
super naive about. Less so
No.
now with one race under a belt.
Yeah, veterans,
Yeah, and bumper to bumper, squeezed tight. They fit in our 28-foot trailer with I think probably 7 or 8 millimeters to spare.
I was going to say there's not much more room.
No.
Weight's not a problem. Room is the problem.
Space is the problem.
Yeah, yeah. Well, one of our sister teams races minis, so we understand. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the way the mini's going on this trip, my dear, we might be racing a mini soon. Anyway,
Yeah.
but that's different. That's a different story. I'll be home someday. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right. So, Greg and Robin, when we come to the race, we have a certain set of skills. Some of them are helpful. Actually, most of them aren't. So, if you guys look at yourselves as racers, what kind of skills did you bring to this endeavor, and where's the gaps on this team?
Oh, somebody's laughing already.
I mean, he
Robin
raced
has a longer
motorcycles
list.
since he was
Yeah,
7
Robin,
and still walking, so he's got to do something.
Robin has a longer list of skills than I do, much longer. So I'll let him go first.
Yeah. So there is one skilled mechanic on the team, and it's neither Greg nor I. That's Greg's son, Colton. I know that wrenches exist, and I can do a little bit with them. I can follow the directions that Colton gives me with some small degree of accuracy. I think one of my roles was to look at the rules real hard and to make sure that we were in compliance with them. I happen to be a member of the legal profession, so that was kind of like fits in with what I do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that's kind of it. Besides Greg, the other two members of our team are younger than us by scores of decades or something like that. So there's a little bit of management of them and making sure that they stay on task. I don't know that I'm great at that, but I can recognize when it's going awry and try to nudge them.
Yeah, our first race was Vicki and I, our that then 17-year-old son, who had just started driving, and his friend, who both of them were going to set new records at the track before they even got there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We understand. It's part of the fun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Greg, I'm kind of scared to ask you the same question since you prefaced it with Robin has all these skills, and Robin's like, dude, I don't know nothing. So what help do you to this team?
I definitely drag us down for sure. I'm probably the heaviest teammate, that's for sure. I mean, Colton is wafer thin, and Nick is 6'5", and as thin, weighs as much. So, yeah, the skills I bring are more logistical. So, by training, business process reengineering, continuous improvement, all of that stuff as federal management consulting. So bring that to the track and organize. And Robin could tell you that I was probably a little bit obsessed about things that we'd never ever used
Mm-hmm.
in terms of pits and everything else. And then we just decided to come back to the paddock almost every single time. We never once. I think one time we fueled it, out on the track, but it was just easier, and we weren't worried about our time. I think at one point we were battling hard for 149th.
Well, I mean, somebody's got to. Somebody's got to.
Oh, jeez.
So Robin, do we translate all what Greg said to he pointed at the race a lot?
Yeah.
A lot of shovel leaning. Yeah.
Okay. I was just making sure. I wanted to make sure our listeners saw through that little advertising slogan. He's like, well, I've got this depths of project management knowledge, which means I stand and point.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
much.
okay.
Build
Yeah.
spreadsheets and
Yeah, yeah. Oh, don't. We can go spreadsheets for a while. Miss Vicky's eyes will glaze over, but I'll be able to. I'll be
I'm
right there.
getting better.
Yeah, she's tired of hearing me talk about spreadsheets. Okay, Miss Vicky, hit him with your question, and then we'll roll in.
All right. So, for those that are relatively semi-experienced with racing, what do you guys tell yourself? Do you have a philosophy? Do you have a motto? What gets you going, or what advice do you pass on to anybody else?
Uh, I'll I think that the best advice that I would try to share, and this is something that I've incorporated from other people that I've heard it from. The most important thing in endurance racing is to keep circulating. Like, it's not how fast you circulate. It's not your
Nope.
lap time. It's
Nope.
not whether you win a corner. It is whether you are on the track moving in a general direction that everybody else is moving. Because if you can't stay out on the track, you can't succeed.
True.
Mhm.
Absolutely true. What about you, Greg? Your vast experience in endurance racing, you've got to bring a lot to the table that our listeners are just waiting.
my exact one race.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, I think we got a little carried away with trying to go too fast at times. At least Colton and I did. But I think the biggest thing is that um, don't be afraid to just jump out and ask other people for information, for help, for parts, for tools. Everybody, as Robin pointed out, is so welcoming, so helpful. There was another far more advanced MR2 team there that had a trailer full of parts. Shout out to them. I wish I could remember their name. But they came up with all kinds of parts that might have solved our problem on day two,
Mm-hmm.
but they were jumping in trying to help us, which was great. So I think had we known 4 or 5 months ago, 6 months ago, that we could reach out to any of the teams, most likely, and they would have given us all the information, maybe even stop by if they're in Northern Virginia and helped
Maybe
out.
there was a podcast you could have listened to. I'm just
If
saying.
only there were a podcast.
There's
Yeah.
got to be somebody.
Yep.
Listen,
So
look for the podcast before you go to your first race, not
yes,
after.
that's great advice. I should have led with that.
Now
Yeah.
you're already on the the Facebook pages, right? The 24 hours, the unofficial 24 hours?
Sadly, I'm not. I'm not on Facebook.
No.
That's not
Okay.
That's not that sad. Don't
It's
worry.
really not that sad.
The
So,
only reason I have Instagram or Facebook is this racing thing. So I actually had to start them for this. So
yeah.
what a fool. Anyway, okay, so we beat around the bush. You guys went to your first race. You came in out of 100 cars. Your stellar B class MR2 first gen came in with 202 laps and a rocket stopped nowhere except at number 72. So B class car 72. Give us some more details. What's going on? Why is a B class car in 72? There's got to be stories.
I'm really, really proud of the amount of laps that we turned, even though, as Greg said, we had 10-minute pit stops, and a 10-minute pit stop was a quick pit stop because we just, we cruised in, we checked in with each other, made sure everyone was feeling okay. We checked tire pressure sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
We sort of like, ease our way out of the car and ease the next guy in. We had a fantastic time, and I feel like we weren't super, super slow. The
Well, I
number
mean,
of laps could have been better, but
you weren't slow. It's just, I mean, unless you took like 75 pit stops, there's got to be more to, you missed by like 220 from like the goal. So I mean, unless you went and took a yacht race or something around the paddock, there's more to this story, guys. You're hiding something from me. I'm thinking
so
there's some black flags involved. I'm thinking.
We did have one, and I think
Ah.
we were trying to get our lawyer involved. I wish but the claim was that we didn't see the caution, And so I
Uh-huh.
think it was Colton that was out there that missed a caution flag. And
You're
so
the first person in Lemons to ever say that.
right. So he got pulled in. That took some time. And then I think we got pulled a second time when Nick was on the track, and they came in and it was the wrong MR2 or something. So I wasted a lot of time.
Okay. All right.
We also did kind of short stints because being new racers and hearing advice from older, wiser teams than us that when you get out there, you have so much information that you're taking in.
Stop.
You know there's a microphone right next to you, right?
I'm sorry.
Thanks.
You have so much information that you're taking in, and it is so tiring and sort of like taxing on your being able to make sense of the information that you're taking in. That we kept people like 15-20 minute stints at first, and sort of gradually made those longer so that we could have a race car that wasn't wadded up into a ball by the end of the by the end of the
Some
weekend.
of the best advice I think we got day one, actually Friday practice, was the second you feel comfortable in the car, take one more lap and come in. Because when you're comfortable and you're feeling pretty good about things, you're going to get complacent.
Especially at your first race.
Yeah, especially at our first race.
Yep. So you got a B class car. I'm looking at this. I'm digging, and then I look and say, okay, what's your fastest lap? Your fastest lap is a 142. Okay, I didn't look at how many you have. Now, for instance, that puts you at number 90. No, 89. I'm sorry, I don't want to underclub your stellar performance. And then there's this other team that's got a broken Honda Civic that had no VTEC, and they were going around at number 93. So B class car versus broken C class car, and you're like 3 points higher. So there's obviously some loose nuts behind the wheel that could use a little improvement in skill, maybe.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know for sure that some of us. Well, first of all, we've had these cars probably since the beginning of COVID, and then they sat until we get our act together, and then last fall, so it was almost 5 years. We checked everything, worked through everything, but then very first lap I'm out there, we're coming down the straightaway at speed, and oh man, it's time to really check those brakes.
Yeah,
So
brakes are helpful.
Yeah, so that got in my head a little bit. So it became less racing around the track and more just kind of driving around the track.
Were you first driver in?
I think Colton wasn't he?
Okay, I was going to say that's when you test your brakes, when they're doing those little yellow parade laps. It's good.
Well, this was on Friday, so I think I did the
okay.
Yeah.
Test and tune. Okay.
Right.
All right. So 200 laps, 450 roughly for the total. Did the car break?
It did. It broke about 3 or 4 hours before the finish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Colton was really, it was the fastest lap,
Mm-hmm.
and then he shredded the transmission.
Nice.
So, again, fastest in the family, but didn't break the car. That's still me.
You broke the car?
No, he broke the car.
Oh,
no,
okay.
no.
The family without breaking the car.
Okay.
So fastest lap of the race was lap 201, and you finished 202 on the hook.
Yeah.
Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He sort of
He limped it home?
hobbled it in. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he had, I think, the fastest and the slowest lap within a lap of one another.
Oh, that's fantastic. Consistency is the key to his game.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. There's some stories there. We're going to have to pick on Colton a little more in another future podcast episode. So. All right. So, what was your going in expectation for the idiocy, and then your coming out understanding of the idiocy that is Lemons? Off track and then on track.
On track, it's some real racing.
It is, shockingly.
Like, yeah, shockingly. I did not expect the intensity of racing that's involved with the kind of cars that I expected.
Hmm.
So, which is fantastic. I love that. Our theme was, I would give it a D plus.
Okay.
I mean, we were so focused on the seat that last week and fixing the roll cage and everything and making sure it was to spec that so that we could pass tech, that we just kind of gave up on the theme. But man, that was an eye opener, and you guys especially. So
5 years, crap theme, and you're blaming it on the broomstick test.
Yeah.
I just, the project management, your pointing skills you need maybe to use two fingers next time.
So when did we actually register? I think we didn't officially decide to do it, I think, and not until like early September. So we had about 6-7 weeks of really time to prep for our first race.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Robin? You had some thoughts going into this craziness on track, and
Yeah, like there was one thing that really kind of surprised me, and that was the number of cars that were on track.
all of them,
Like, yeah,
all
yeah.
of them.
You have the numbers in front of you. I think it was what about 110 or so.
100, but that's like the smallest Lemons race we've ever done.
Yeah,
Really?
and it's a 2 mile track,
Yep.
so there was never more than 5 or 10 seconds that you would really have a clear track in front of you. And since, as you correctly noted, we were slower than many of the other cars,
Mhm.
and like we got faster by the end of the weekend, which meant that we were slower at the beginning of the weekend. So
Yeah.
it was
I looked. Yeah.
it was continuously being passed.
Yeah.
And that experience was kind of intense. Like,
Uh-huh.
it's not easy to stay on a racing line when you are making sure that you are trying to keep from crashing other people.
Mhm.
There is no racing line.
There
Right.
can be a racing line, but
Not at the speed they were
it-
going.
it's not on Saturday morning. There is no race line on Saturday. You might see one Sunday afternoon,
Maybe.
but you won't see one all day Saturday.
Yeah, race line does not exist in Lemons. It's if you're out in the middle of nowhere and it's open, you might get like one or two turns with the racing line, but the rest of the time it's
Traffic management,
high speed traffic. Yeah.
Mhm.
high speed traffic management, and trying to use your skills and techniques to advance.
Mm-hmm. It's fun. We had a good time.
Mhm.
So what are your thoughts after seeing this debacle that we call Lemons? What are you thinking? Does this float your boat? Does
Oh,
this
definitely. Yeah.
we didn't scare you away? There's these crazy people dressed up as, airplane people, and
Well, we're doing 3 more races. We're not registered yet. We got to make sure the transmission works, but we're planning to go down to South Carolina.
oh, CMP. Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna do Real Hoopties of New Jersey.
Excellent.
Oh, I'm going to tell you
Yeah,
flat out.
You think that was crazy? Wait till you see that place.
Wait till you see Hoopties.
Yeah, is it nuts?
It's
Oh.
a little tense.
I mean, it's New Jersey.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay, so New Jersey is, I mean, we used to have one race earlier in the season. It was Pittsburgh before it closed down. But technically, New Jersey for the East Coast is technically the beginning race of the season, even though it's not. It's the first warm weather one. So everybody comes out for that one, and all the nuttiness shows up. All the crazy shows up. Yeah, so if you're theming, that's the race you theme for, because everybody shows up.
Okay. Okay.
And looking at your car, you have a lot of steps to take to get there.
So you're saying there's room for improvement?
I mean, you set the bar low on that first one. I mean,
So we've gotten to the point with our car where we just buy wrap. So we'll purchase some wrap and just design it and figure out what we're going to do with it and just
it doesn't work.
what?
Spray plasti dip.
No, that was our first car. We didn't know anything about
Second
anything.
car, but
Yeah,
it theoretically seemed like a good idea, but
it was a horrible idea.
it was just
Yeah,
not the best, not the best, not the best.
nope.
Okay, so with this vast experience that you guys have of 200 plus laps of Lemons racing, and the skills and the knowledge that you've generated, I need three things that either they should do or they should not do for a new team. That's code for what did you screw up? And did you get anything right?
Yeah, every time we got off the track, that's what we used to do was what went right, what went wrong, and what could we do better.
The
And we
first one,
always had a conversation about that when we got into this with the whole team.
and the first one was short, and the second one was long, and the third one was longer.
Yes. Yes.
So what do you think? Give me three things. Three things. What do you think? What did you do well, or what did you do bad?
So I think one thing that we could probably do better is start early. And
I mean, 5 years is pretty early, dude. You just have to start.
Right. Well, start early and commit.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah. And
you should be theming for New Jersey now.
True. I think one thing that we did well is I think that our team works together pretty well as far as everybody gets along with each other. Everybody looks out for each other and tries to accommodate each other's busy schedules and each other's shortcomings in mechanical things, like mine, for example, with grace and humor. And I think that's a very important part of getting along and hopefully having a team that stays together for a long time.
What about you, Greg? Oh, sorry. Yeah. That was two. Sorry, Robin.
No, that's all right. I can only count to two anyway.
That's all right. I used both hands. What about you, Greg? Sounds like you need to point some more to get this team rolling earlier.
Yeah, we really got to commit on both the theme and the car. We have that second MR2, so we're always looking for more teammates to jump in because we'd love to get that second car up and running. And get it going. So
it's just the same. It's easier when you have two.
Yeah. Well, and we've been trying not to pilfer from the other car to fix the blue car. So
I got a plan for you. Here it is. You ready? Theme both cars the same, and if one breaks,
just roll it out of the trailer.
No one knows.
Yeah.
I mean, they're pretty identical.
That's what I mean. If you theme them the same, boom.
All right.
Run them both through tech, you might actually finish the race. It'll be fun. And if you think Summit Point was crowded, wait till you see New Jersey.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other thing we commented on already a little bit was that we were really patient. We knew it's our first race. If we were to finish, I think that would be a huge victory for us.
Absolutely,
for
everybody.
Another 202 laps, but that 202nd lap is actually crossing the finish line. Fantastic. We'll be thrilled with that. So the first race, passing tech, getting that whole experience, that was huge. I mean, for us, that was the very first checkered flag. So,
Wait, did you finish Saturday?
Yeah, we did finish Saturday.
Okay, so you took one checker.
Yeah,
you're halfway there.
Quick shout out to Three Pedal Mafia, who
those guys.
Yeah.
So we sat next to them at with the banquet on Saturday night,
Hmm.
and we were asking those guys for advice, and I really wish I could ID him in a lineup, but I don't know
Jeff,
his name. Uh,
Eric,
Chris,
beard,
Chris.
beard,
Chrissy.
scruffy looking. I'm not sure, but I
That
asked
that
him.
doesn't narrow it down on that
Yeah,
team.
right.
And most of them were scruffy.
Oh,
Most
it was probably Greg or Bruce.
Yeah,
So Bruce sounds familiar, but they
Dark
will
hair.
remember.
Bruce. It was Bruce.
They
Bruce is bearded.
we asked so for tomorrow, what time do people show up? Oh, well, I mean, you got to be there a couple hours early before lineup for sure.
Oh, jeez.
And,
They're
you want to be lined up and ready to go at least 1 hour before, you get prepped, get the car warmed up for sure. It's gonna be cold tomorrow. Really? That seems early. No, you'll see guys lining up early. At least an hour.
It won't be those two. If it's either one of those two, they're famous for not
And
making the checker flag to start.
We swallowed that hook so hard.
Yeah.
Our team showed up. It was still dark out, and we sat there forever. We watched a few of the judges doing the walk of shame back to their trailer.
Yeah.
We watched. I mean, no one was awake as we're rolling in, ready to get the car ready. I mean, so
We were still cooking breakfast.
Yeah, they got us with that one. That was pretty funny.
It's part of the fun. We themed with them, so they're kind
Yeah.
of they're our sister team that doesn't admit that they are. So that's fine. It's fine. We got time.
Yeah, they were actually in our paddock.
Yeah. They airplaned it up with us as well. All right. Was that 3 for you, Greg? I lose track. No, is that me?
We did a lot of things wrong. We did
Oh.
so many things wrong.
So what's going to be the top of the list there, project manager dude?
Getting the transmission fixed and just taking it a little bit easier on the car. But I mean, that's probably the biggest thing, and maybe figuring out our pits a little bit better. And we lost so much time. There's at least probably 50 laps easy in pit time. So.
I mean, doing the pit changes. I mean, at our first race, we did half-hour driver stints, so we did the same as you, just to make sure that everybody was safe. Well, our thing was same as you: get through tech and get everybody one stint, and that was enough. And then the rest of it was all glory. And then we were idiots. We finished the race, driving home. We said, "Wow, that was fun. That was easy." I had bought 2 cars to start with. This is kind of thematic to me, buying cars. But anyway, and on the way home, we're like, "Hey, let's do 2 cars at the next race." It sounds kind of familiar to your story. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's not even close to the same. So
It's different.
it's way different. It's like 6x, not 2x. So it's a logistical nightmare, but that's okay. Okay.
Is that on account of just more things to go wrong in more places? Like, what makes it so much harder?
I don't know if I respond with lack of focus or scatter or just distributed chaos. It's well, you got to realize we started with 2 teenagers, Vicki and I. None of us had ever raced, so we went to the next race, and now we've got
2 cars,
3 teenagers, 2 cars. Well, at least your cars are the same. So 2 are Mark IIs. We didn't even have that. And then we've got 3 more new racers and the experienced crew of us with 1 race in. So it was a debacle.
and the cars are breaking.
And the cars were breaking. You're fine unless the car breaks.
And our trailer broke.
Everything
that
broke.
we rented.
Everything
It was super hot weekend, and it lost the generator, so we had no air in that one. And it parked it next to a gas generator from the team next to us, so we had to open up the windows with the generator right outside the window.
It was great.
Yeah.
The most expensive shed I've ever rented. So it was terrible.
Yeah.
So 2 cars is hard. I would not tell you not to do it, but I would warn you it might not be the best plan.
I think we're gonna wait. We'll see. At least get another couple of races.
Yeah.
That would be good.
First.
I would absolutely make sure that your car is solid before you put another one on.
Yeah.
And even then.
Yeah. I mean, you've had 5 years to get 1 car on track. Why not do 2 in 6 months? That'd be great. That'll be great. I can't wait to see the theme.
I thought we just
Yeah,
said
but
we have to commit.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you got to commit, and then you got to do. You know what you need? You need a podcast that tells all this stuff. All right. So, Robin,
Yeah.
before you got on, Greg was complaining about how you roped him into this tragedy of a podcast and said, why are we here? Why did he make me do this? What's going on? And he blamed you. So, Robin, why are you here?
Um, well, I was here because one of the questions that we had, and one of the things that we needed to work out in our team, was figuring out how teams are budgeted in a way that's fair for both, like, the owner of the car, for the participants, for the pit crew. Like, how do you figure that all out? How do you distribute that among the people? And what happens if there's an accident? Who pays for that? Like, I think that we've arrived at a solution that makes sense for us, but it'd be great to hear, what other people have done. And you guys have done a fantastic job of educating me through me going through your back catalog and downloading some checklists from your website too.
Oh, I need to
Um,
update those. Those are old. I'm on like
Hmm.
65 now. I think you got like 26 or something. So,
they're still super useful.
oh, good.
But, like, we kind of wanted to hear what you guys do on your team. Like, how do you, if somebody's a new driver on your team, how do you treat them? If somebody's a pit crew, how do you treat them as far as the budget, as far as their contribution goes?
Okay, so lots of teams do lots of different things. So there's
Mhm.
no one size fits all for this, and we probably do this really poorly, to be fair. Um, so pit crew, if they're not driving, no charge, like none. I will gladly take any help I can get because I've got 11 thumbs on two hands, so I'm excellent at getting stuff and handing you tools that I may know what they look like. But Miss Vicky's one of our senior wrenches, even though she says I'm still in training, and we've got a couple others on the team that do that. So what we typically do, and I'm not saying this is what you should do. I'm just saying what we do is one of the things we like to do is get as many people into the sport as we can. So a lot of times we'll have people come in that are brand new to the team, and we'll put them in the car. Um, but if we do, I'm pretty simple with anybody who's in our car that's not like specifically on our team, in that I add up everything on an Excel spreadsheet for the weekend. I divide it by the number of drivers, and that's how we do it. Because I'm not looking to make a profit on this. I'm just looking to make the hole that I dig go down slower. Um, nobody's making a mortgage after a lemons race. And if we do win, like we won the Halloween meets gasoline, we donate the prize to charity because the amount of money we spent, that's not going to really do much different. It's a little shallower hole, but it's still a hole. So just give it to charity. It's fine. And who wants 2,000 nickels anyway? Um, so that's what we do. Some other teams, they'll run with an owner who is responsible for the car, and the drivers either contribute for the cost of the race, or for sometimes they'll contribute to the maintenance or something. It gets hard when the car gets split up with like three or four people, because then it's arguments typically. Not that people don't do it. They have four people. There are four equal owners to the car, and they all put in whatever it is. And if something happens to the car, they all put in whatever it is. Some other teams do it with uh, you break it, you help us fix it. You don't have to fix it. Like some people fix it with a check, and some people fix it with sweat labor, and some people fix it with parts and time or whatever. It's really, there is no one size fits all for this. I did I miss any, Vic, that you can remember?
Mm-mm.
It's it's whatever feels right. And usually there's one or two key people for each car. Like we have multiple cars for our team, and each car has a significant one or two people who are kind of like the responsible parties. And we're talking about lemons here. So
Right.
obviously, responsible parties has quotes, big,
It's in quotes.
big quotes, like 2 or 3 sets of quotes there. So, I mean, one of our guys, we can't get him to keep his clothes on, but that's different. He wasn't able to make it today, thankfully, because he'd probably be naked, but that's fine. So
No, don't say that. He
not
always
naked, but
no.
he'd probably be wearing Jennifer's clothes or something, but that's fine.
You're making
Um,
it sound worse.
I have pictures to prove this, but anyway,
No. Okay.
yes, we do. Lots of pictures of Jeremy wearing Jennifer's clothes. It's part of the theme. Um, so it really, I can't tell you this is what works because it all works depending on the team and the makeup of the team. So it's kind of, you guys can kind of hash it together and see what it is. Usually it's 1 or 2 people. Sometimes it's all 4 or 5, whatever. We have a bunch of cars, we have a bunch of people, and we do things weirdly differently. So
The
as
nice
far,
thing is that the more you do it, and when you first jump in, and I use this term, it's like getting hit in the face with a fire hose. There's just so much information, but the more you do it, the more that starts to become background. Um, but if you have like your 4 people that are broken up in your team, so you have your mechanic, your sous chef, you have your person in charge of the paddock, and then you have your person which is overall organizer and runner. And if you have those 4 things and people can crisscross, then you guys will be okay. But that's usually like the base foundation for setting up the 4-man team. And organization is just key with this.
and some people do have like contracts, like if thou breakest the careth, then thou shalt fix, or whatever,
Hmm.
if somebody on here was like in the legal profession, they might know how to write these things. Uh,
Yeah.
I think this is fun. So that's kind of, to me, that's too far. It's, I'm not saying it's not necessary. It depends on the people, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to race with the people where I need that. So I try to avoid that.
Mhm.
Um,
We're thinking
nobody's,
about a
I
damage deposit.
what's that?
We're thinking about a damage deposit for
You
when we're
can. I mean, it depends. Are they core
scratch
team
my car.
member? Are they core team member or are they arrive and drive? That's also a
Yeah,
tip.
there's also a difference between core team and arrive and drives.
If they're core team members, that usually gets different than arrive and drive. Arrive and drive gets to be more of a business transaction than a friends going slowly around circles. Um, so it whatever feels right for you has been done. There's no rocket science involved with this. I mean, look at your race times. There's no rocket science involved with this. Um,
it seems to me also that it's kind of critical to have matched expectations. I've
oh, big
heard
time.
I've heard from, other teams who've come on your podcast where there were some bad feelings involved because
Yeah.
there was, some tweaking of equipment and there may not have been clear expectations, or maybe there were clear expectations and they just weren't fulfilled as to what happens next.
Well, you've got competing agendas for what's most important, to finish the race or to go fast.
Mm.
And I can go fast and wear the car out, or I can go fast now I can go fast and not wear the car out. So there's differences there. And then there's, oh, the car broke, and then I crashed, or oh, they hit me. And then you start getting into finger pointing and stuff. And some people handle that well and some people not so well. So it's always better to have that understood before.
We have absolutely figured out how to go slow and wear the car out.
Yeah, exactly. So you're halfway to almost good.
Yeah.
So which puts you above half the lemons field. So don't worry about it. You're doing fine. But the money gets in the way of the fun sometimes. So sometimes it's just,
Yeah.
I've heard of teams where you're behind the wheel, I don't care. And then I've heard the other thing, like, if it's obviously your fault, then this, and if it's not, then we'll figure it out. And usually the way I like to see it, or the way I think works best, or the way I prefer, is if you're driving the car and you hit somebody or you hit a wall or somebody hits you, help us get the car back on. That's all. And that could be write a check, or we'll see you next weekend, or what, somewhere in between, whatever. So it
We had
all
a
depends.
pretty decently serious conversation before the first race
Yeah,
about what happens,
yeah,
as the car owner. I just kind of assumed the risk that anyone driving the car, anything could happen at any
yeah,
time.
yeah. Don't put it on track if you can't afford to say goodbye to
Yeah,
it.
exactly. So, that was not a big deal. And I think, no one wants to be the person that wrecks the car, because then you kind of ruin the weekend.
Yeah, for sure.
That's more the bigger issue. I think as far as all the other expenses, we were trying to figure out, anything permanently added to the vehicle that, the value is retained with the vehicle if, we decide to
Hmm.
sell it to some other knucklehead that wants to do lemons.
Sure.
I pay for that.
Yeah.
But consumables like oil, fuel, brakes, parts, etc., depending on the part,
Oh, you
if
rookie! You
it's
forgot tires.
yeah, of course, tires. I mean, you get the list of consumables goes on and on and on.
Uh
So
huh.
we said, okay, if we all agree that's a consumable, then that's kind of put in the pot for the drivers to share the expense,
Yeah.
and
We
everything
we
else is my expense.
we kind of budget 4 tires per race. 'Cause there's certain sets of tires that you can get that is 4 tires per race. There's other sets of tires you can get that are faster, that are 8 tires per race. We suck. So we do 4 tires per race. We do the slower tires, but they wear like iron. So that's kind of the plan. So that covers, some
Mm-hmm.
races we get more than one. Some races we flat spot 7 tires. It's somewhere in between. And, it works out. So usually I just attribute like 1 tire per
Those
driver.
tires, are they a sponsor of the podcast? What are
Not
those?
yet, but I'm trying, man. I'm
What are
really
they?
trying.
You gotta. Who are they? I want to know.
You want the tire that wears like iron? Hankook RS4s. I'm about to put my order in for a bunch of them too. So
And they're the sponsor for Lucky Dog
yeah, they
too,
are
right?
official tire for Lucky Dog. Yeah,
Yeah.
but they're not the fastest, but they do wear like iron. And so I think you guys were talking about how to minimize costs and how to save some money because racing's not cheap. And the best answer I can get you is unless you have something specific we can go over now, no problem, because you're going to have literally hundreds of different things that you're going to need to buy or think about buying. And you might as well just email me or call me, and
Mm-hmm.
we'll tell you what we know, which
Mm-hmm.
is of some value above zero, but not full dollar, somewhere in there. and, and I'll tell you, like, you can do, like the tires. If you want something that's just going to wear like iron and is decently fast, RS4s. If you want something that's a little faster, you want the Aventus. And if you want something that, hey, I'm going for the win, you want the RE71 RSs. No problem, anytime. But your budget's going to go up and up and up. So it all depends on what you want. And right now you're at the level of suck that you should do the RS4s, and you should probably do that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
so it's kind of fun. I mean, I think on the website we still have our list of things that we recommend and certain tips and tricks and stuff, but we did not do a good enough job of setting up the hey, this is what we think is the best bang for the buck kind of stuff, and I should probably do that. But well,
Do you all bring a pit bike?
Vicki does. I walk. A lot of teams do. It depends on where you're at. If you're at pit race, yeah, you're bringing something because it is huge, but you don't have to worry about going there anymore. If you're at Summit Point,
Yeah, you're
it's
bringing a
small.
server farm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Summit Point, not really. New
Not really.
Jersey, not
Probably,
really.
probably, but it's kind of
Iffy.
borderline. Borderline. Thompson depends where you park. If you're parked
Yeah.
in the garages, no. If you're parked in the by the hill, maybe, probably. If you're parked out in the oval, oh yeah, you
Mhm.
better bring something. You might have to.
So it does make it easier getting around because sometimes, depending on where you are at the track, you are pretty tired midway through the day, and you're just like, "Oh, I gotta lug something up," and you just like trying to
Yeah.
run around. I personally have a scooter that electric scooter that I kind of run around on. Bicycles work great. Um, and when we had the bigger track, occasionally we would bring out the Vespa.
Or the golf cart.
Um,
Some people bring
Yeah,
golf
some
carts.
people have a golf cart, you know. Some people build their own wacky stuff and they just drive them around. You might see that at New Jersey. There's a particular team called the
Lemontarians.
Lemontarians. The Lemontarians. And they are a group of talentedly knucklehead fabricators and mechanics. And and they just build the wackiest stuff on the side and they just drive him around. It's pretty funny.
Yep. And they drive a 64-foot long Cadillac on the track and
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think
try.
the Cadillac had chandeliers on both front end
Yep.
above the headlamps. Yeah, they
Yep.
had two chandeliers that were just driving.
Yep.
It's
I
like
haven't seen.
Dr. Detroit, right?
Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
They had a full size model of Big Daddy Don Garlitz's dragster on top of it one year. It was fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, they did that too. They had a dragster on top of it, their car driving around. I haven't seen them Lemonation in a while. Lemonetarians.
Lemontarians. Yeah.
Lemonetarians. I haven't seen them in a while, but usually they show up at Jersey.
Yeah, Jersey and Thompson.
Hmm.
What else do you guys want for budgets? Is there anything else that's coming to mind? You mentioned radios. We could do radios.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
radios. Our radios sucked because we didn't have one. We used we used the AirPods, and then we kept our phone in the car on the mount
Yeah,
or
that's
in
a
our pocket.
tremendously terrible idea.
Yeah, and then somebody had to stay on the line with you
Uh-huh.
the entire time you're out there.
Uh-huh.
So that was our best idea as a workaround, but it got old listening to nothing. And then
Uh-huh.
and then at some point, while I was on the track, Colton forgot he was supposed to be talking to me, and I was in his pocket the entire time. And I'm, looking for information, and uh, all I hear is background noise and people laughing and having a good time, not on the track, in my ear while I'm trying to drive. So that didn't work out well.
Hmm. Yep, I can imagine that would not be great. So we've got an episode that we had with Scott Sampson probably 4 years ago, and he owns Sampson Racing Communication, SRC. Um, there's lots of different ways, and for each dollar level, you get more functionality. And I'm not saying go get a motorsport grade radio system from Motorola that's like 10K and then put the, you know, however much it costs to get it inside your helmet. The big thing you got to deal with is race cars. Yours may not be loud, but the rest of them can be loud. So you need to have a decent amount of volume and you need to have a decent amount of coverage over a fairly large space. So radios, you can do it the cheap way and struggle. You can do it the medium way and do pretty well, or you could just go whole hog and get the stuff that the big boys use. I'm kind of a midway kind of guy. So, we use Baofeng radios. If you listen to the episode, he'll go over how to put the wiring into the car, where to mount your antenna and on the little details like that. And I think we actually had them program the radio so we have our own little channels that we can talk to, like amongst the pit and then amongst the cars, so we can talk to individual cars and or amongst everybody in the pit. I think the radios, well, we haven't bought them in a few years. They're probably like $150, maybe. I don't know. And then everything you put into the car is another couple $100. So it's not terrible. Always make more radios than less. We have a line on our scheduling board that says BARF for bring a radio. I can't remember what the last word is, but so everybody has their radio all weekend, and just a reminder, and everybody forgets it. So far, we haven't had many left in the bathroom, so that's a plus. We're calling it a plus.
Hmm.
But
The
radios
other
are tough.
the other key thing that really helps out with communication in our paddock is a large whiteboard that we break down, and it breaks down
E-
everybody's job
Everything.
and a time slots everybody's going to be in and where they need to be, and that's set in the morning. So everybody knows who's going to be in the hot pit at what time, and everybody knows who's going to be in the car at what time. And inside the car, we have a little stick-on timer, a little clock that's in there so we can see the hours that we go into. And underneath on that slot of that whiteboard, and Bill can send you a picture of it, and we can reach out to it. We also have a section of stuff that we need to bring next time that we obviously have missed, and we write it down because every time we grab something that's not there, we put it on the board. Then we know to bring it to the next race. And then we also have a runner list underneath of it also. So that way, if something's going on with the car or something like that, somebody's radioing in, we write it down so we know what to check in the evening. We know these things are going wrong, and because communication's going all the time, all the time. But at least this way, it's set. Everybody has a they're predicted about what time they're supposed to be in, and if they have their radios or they're carrying their phones, and things change, then they can go ahead and make those lists, or they can make those corrections. But that is like the fastest way that we figured out that everybody's on the same page and things can slightly move in different directions after that. And I tell you, that has the big whiteboard has been the saving grace for the teams. And we hand out the like the teams that we're on now, like everybody has a whiteboard in the groups that we hang out with.
We have a whiteboard, but I don't think we were very good at using it.
Yeah.
We
I've
tried
got a
tire pressure
template.
and some other things
Yeah.
kind of uselessly. So
I have a template that seems to work, and I've made a few of these things. We have a vinyl printer cutter actually, so I print up whiteboards, and it's
Yeah.
it's kind of like theming a whiteboard. I know you're not familiar with this concept of theming. We'll talk about that at some
Yeah.
point. But blue car, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Blue is not a theme,
be the
but
blue band group.
yeah. Well, that would be a
So-
theme at least, but yeah.
So the theme was actually IKEA. It was one tool racing, and we had some elements of that theme together, and Greg did a bunch of great work. We got blue nylon shirts. We were carrying around Allen wrenches. We had ideas of like making a big Allen wrench to mount to the top of the car, but we just ran out of time.
So after seeing your first Lemons race, do you feel that is up to the level that you need to perform at, or
already self-evaluated at a D+. So.
okay, all right, just making sure that you realize how weak cheese that was, but
Oh yeah,
it was terrible.
and and I think it takes going to a Lemons race to realize how deep the theming has to go.
oh yeah,
Because like we were doing this, like, is this going to be funny? And obviously it wasn't all that terribly funny, but like it's amazing. Like the first thing I started to tell people about this when I do my spiel for the 200th person that I try to hook into Lemons racing, and when I talk to them about it, it's like, all right, there are cars that are covered in AstroTurf. There are cars that have a Pac-Man mounted on them, and the numbers are ghosts. And of course, then they ask, so is it a demolition derby? It's like, not intentionally.
No.
But
some cars look like it is, but that's a different story.
Yeah. It's hard to understand the depth of the theming until you actually see it and experience it. So I think we're going to take our lessons going forward.
Okay, I'm just making sure that you've grown as race drivers.
And certainly for my height,
and break the car. At least we have to have a
that's right,
moderately decent theme. So.
Listen, we had a full taps ceremony for our car after we broke it. When we were doing our Top Gun theme, we had the car come in, we had a sheet, we played taps on the trumpet, we had a ceremony with a priest leading over it. Then you go. The general rule for theming is if you think of it, yes, that's yes, do that. And when you think of something else, do that too. And
did you bring the trumpet thinking that your car was going to not make it through the weekend? Or
no, but we found one
just in case.
No, we found one.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Oh, Scott Sampson was episode 201, so did some research in my background. So yeah, just if you think it's too much, then do a little bit more, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't think there is such a thing as over the top.
No, if it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing, 100%. So yeah. Anything else with the budgeting and racing that you guys wanted to get into? Because I want you to get your money's worth because you made this episode happen. I mean, we blame you.
Is there
I
any
think I go.
is there any time? I know we talked about the chaos and 6X with two cars.
Yeah.
Other than only needing one trailer to put two cars in, is there any economies of scale of having more than one car?
You share common parts and you only have metric tools. I mean, we had no common parts and we had one car that was English and one car that was metric. So we had zero.
Gotcha.
Like probably -0 of commonality. So it was just a mess. So you'll be closer to zero than we would, but I wouldn't think so. Because you don't. You mentioned it earlier in the podcast. You brought a lot of stuff, you prepared a lot of stuff, and then you went there and you found out you didn't have anything you needed.
Well, we didn't have the one thing we needed.
Get used to that.
Yeah.
Like, what's something we need to bring? Oh, a transmission. It could be the weak spot of your car. Talk to the other MR2 team and say, hey, is the transmission a weak spot or do we just suck? And if it's a weak spot, guess what you're bringing to the racetrack? Another transmission. But only bring to the track what you're willing to do. Like, you don't bring an engine and a transmission if you're not willing to put it in, because then you're just wasting time.
After removing the transmission from our MR2,
Mm-hmm.
It made me realize we could have, like, it's an 80 to 100 pound transmission.
Oh, yeah.
It's not that big. And we could have brought a spare.
Yeah. There's engine hoists.
Back on the track.
There's engine hoists in the paddock. There's welders in the paddock. There's welders as in the piece of equipment, and there's welders as in the person who does it. So,
yeah, he's a welder. Our mechanic is also a welder.
Yeah,
brought the welder with us. I think we will bring the other car this time.
Yeah,
we'll find a way to put all the other equipment that we need somehow in the trailer.
Yeah,
and we'll find a way to bring that other car, and we can steal from it if we have to.
Yeah, I mean, at one race we had and you're not going to get this to happen very often, but at one race, it was actually at CMP, we got the junkyard to bring us the parts car, and they just left their flatbed with the car on it, and we took what we needed, and then we paid them at the end of the weekend. That's Southern hospitality that you're not going to see in New Jersey, I'll tell you that. But we didn't bring a spare car, but we had a spare car brought to us, which was even better, actually. But yeah, and there was enough people in that paddock you could have got back out there if you had the parts. And I can tell you, I've got 3 or 4 apps on my phone. I can find you a part, even an MR2. So it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be clean, but it'll fit in your car and make you go round and round some more. Sundays are hard, though, because sometimes the pick and pulls are dead. So, but if it breaks on Saturday, we'll get you in there for Sunday.
So we were I don't know if we were at a race or we heard about a race on the East Coast where instead of going to, what was it, the salvage yard or the place in order to get the parts, they actually paid the guy to put the car on a trailer and bring it to them. And they pulled everything off the car that they needed. I don't know if it was an engine or they got into an accident or something, but they just had the whole car brought to them and they just started pulling everything off of it.
Were you just playing with the cat? Because I just said that, but that's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I kind of was. Sorry, kind of was.
I'm like, the water is wet. And Vicki, like,
sorry about that. I got distracted.
You know what?
Cat is
what I hear?
at me.
I hear water is wet. Oh, really? That's great.
Yeah, you can just edit that whole part out.
Nope, I'm leaving it in.
Yeah.
We're running it live.
Yeah.
Sleeping in the bathtub tonight. It's fine.
That's good. I was just about to say, Bill, welcome to the bathtub.
Yep.
Yeah.
There I go. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Distracted.
The big thing is, as you probably found out painfully so, the big thing is prep. Prep the car, prep everything. Ideally, you have everything in your trailer packed and ready, not food, the weekend before the race. You'll never do it, but that's the goal.
We were there the day before.
Yeah, but the week before is so much nicer because the last thing you want to
Hour to
do is be
spare.
rushing around and tired going into the race weekend because the race weekend can kill you. Not literally, but figuratively.
I was not prepared for how tired I
Yeah.
was after the weekend.
The post race hangover is real.
Yeah, that's what we call that.
Yeah.
It is 100% real. So don't feel bad. Everybody feels it. I don't
Yeah.
care how old they are, they still feel it. So, but it was great seeing you out there. Actually, now that I can see your faces, I didn't know if Robin was Robin or Robin was Robin. I didn't know who Robin was until I saw him, and then I was like, oh, okay, I remember you guys there. And it was great racing with you. We didn't get to talk to you as much as we did because most of our time was either fixing our jalopy or theming, or to be fair, eating. But that's what we do. We paddock hard. We can't race for doodle, but we can paddock with the best of them. So we're really glad you guys had a great time at your first race, and hopefully we'll see you again. We won't be at CMP this year, but NJMP will be there.
Looking forward to it.
We are
Yeah.
so excited. Yeah, well, our paddock game is weak. That's another area where we've got a lot of lessons learned.
Mhm.
Bring a grill, bring more lawn chairs, more equipment to tailgate to paddock. So
hmm So the other thing too that we learned for the paddock game, and I'm not sure if Bill had already mentioned this, crock pot your meals.
yeah,
Crock pot meals, you put them in the morning. Breakfast is just, the stuff that you could do with we have a flat top um, uh, grill, so that kind of does a lot of our work. Um, but crock pot meals are what saves the day for us, and we just cook up our meals, freeze them up, and then we pop them in for lunchtime, and then we pop them in for dinner. Maybe kind of break them down that way, and that just saves a lot of time, especially if you have the crock pots and they have the liners in them. You could buy liners, and that way you
Mhm.
could just pull the whole liner out, put
Yeah,
another one in, don't have to worry about cleanup, and you always have a hot meal ready for you.
having
washing a
a hot
crock
meal,
pot
especially at
sucks.
Summit Point in October, was nice. I was really, I don't know how you felt, Robin, but I was really tired of eating a meal out of a wrapper. That got a little
Yeah,
fast.
yeah. So I think some of ours is that we'll do I think my sister does like a roast beef in like the gravy part, and she'll make roast beef sandwiches with the gravies on it. We can get the bag salads that come out of Costco, so we throw those out. Another good meal is like a pulled pork. Chilies is usually works, but doesn't need the chili. Sometimes we just do like meatball sandwiches, which is good. But just do that cooking up, throw them in the packages, and just throw them right in your freezer, and just forget about them until race day. I know that Chris and Chrissy, they do a casserole for breakfast, and I think what it is they'll throw the ground sausage in there, hash brown. They just put a bag of hash browns in there, shredded potato hash brown. And they'll throw their meat in there, and then they'll throw whipped eggs, and they'll put that in there. Um, and I think they'll mix a little bit of cheese in with it, and then they'll put that out the night before on low. And then when you wake up, everybody's got a whole casserole that they'll have in the morning to eat. So,
Nice.
so if you have
Yeah.
any questions about something like that, just call us. We can give up some suggestions. Reach out to us. Um, because there's nothing worse than having something you don't have to think about. You just put it in the morning and it's ready for lunch. And then when as soon lunch is over, then you put it in and it's ready for dinner.
Mhm.
Indeed.
Hmm
Well, it was nice to officially meet you too. I remember seeing you in the paddock. I remember at least one of you playing with our dog, and she was a fun puppy there, so she had a good time. And
hmm
We've
like I
had
said,
we've had three burners
uh,
in our family before that one, and
Yeah.
my my wife requires me to stop and pet every burner I see and send her pictures if she's not there.
no,
Yeah.
not a problem. available anytime. If you guys do need any help, you know how to grab me. And if you want good help, I can tell you somebody else who knows stuff. And if not, I can, give you the answers that'll lead you astray. So it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yep.
Well, we really
Thanks so much.
appreciate the advice, appreciate all the information and the hospitality for sure. So thank you very much, Bill and Vicki.
No,
And-
anytime.
And Sirius, reach out. You have our information now. You could text us with any questions. It doesn't have to be, a full podcast, but anything, any questions you have, just reach out. We're always available.
Yeah. And we may not have the best answer, but we've got our answer. And that may be better than no answer. Sometimes.
And we have lots of people who might have the right answer.
Yeah. We know people.
We know people.
They don't admit knowing us, but we know people. You know who you are out there.
Yeah.
So we're back. Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
We're going to kind of do an intro to you guys, how your first race went, and then some questions and things regarding budgets and saving money, I guess was kind of the theory. And then, see, the bad thing is you ask a question and said, you should do an episode on this. And our standard response is, sure, why don't you come on and we'll talk about it? Sucker.
Which is perfectly reasonable.
Exactly.
But like